Okay, so this will be the second part of the Silksong playthrough. These are clipped from a different channel that I have, and it's just a bunch of live stream edits basically. Unfortunately, as you can see, we're going to get started here, but unfortunately, I had a mic issue at the time, so none of this has my actual live voice recordings, and I was talking a lot. So it's pretty unfortunate, but I'll jump around and cut to moments and narrate over them, just so you get all the important bits. After I talked with all the fleas, got my mission to save 5 of them, so they're like the grubs of this game. I decided to explore a little bit and see what was around. The boulder scared me a little bit, and so did that. That was surprising, but I got through it and I pushed forward. Up in the next room, I had a classic diagonal pogo fail. We've all experienced that, and I decided I should probably cool it on that because I'm about to die. And right here, I get our first kind of item of the game, the shard pendant, and I get a little screen showing us how to equip it. Afterwards, we make our way to a bench nearby, and we finally equip that little shard pendant. It increases the amount of shards we get per enemy kill, which will be incredibly helpful later on. Eventually, we come into this room, which has one of the best characters in the game, and her name is Chakra. Admittedly, this part scared me quite a bit, but I find out that she's just a completely normal character, and in fact, we get our maps from her. From the Chakra map room, I decided to go down into Moss Home, where I fought a bunch of new enemies. Mainly all of them were pilgrims, so they weren't too big of a deal. I got a few extra rosaries and explored the area a little bit more. Doing my due diligence, I found out that there was a bench nearby, and I could finally access that behind the gate. This bench will be very important for an upcoming boss, as it's the basis for the runback of that fight. I ended up buying a map from Chakra, so that way I can have both the bone bottom area and the marrow, and now I know exactly where I'm going. I did some fancy trick platforming and parkour right here, which didn't quite go as planned, but it ended up working out either way, so I was happy with it. And I took this little shortcut from the room next to Chakra. This little shortcut ends up sending an elevator back down to Bone Bottom, where we can meet all our friends and have access to all our merchants. Coming back up to the mirror, I purchased a compass with the money we had, and now I can actually see my location on the map. And after that, I decided to go up and see what's lurking in the bells above. Okay, so clearly this wasn't working, and I'm missing something. I don't know why I continued hitting for so long, but I guess I just thought eventually I would get to it. Eventually I just, as you see, turn around and decide to leave, come back later. Eventually, I go left from the beast trapped in the silk, and I kill a bunch of enemies, as you see here. I flip a lever, and I also end up going down and reconnecting the area through a shortcut. When I went up, I see a hidden wall to my left, so I break it and go through. And this is where I discover my first Coral Commandment. From there, I took the intended route by going right instead of through the hidden wall, where I find more silk, so that indicates that there's something I can use in here to break that. Eventually, I get over to the Weaver Shrine here, where I am met with this cutscene. With the new power required, I found another bench, and I also stumbled into the druid. I gave the druid all of my moss berries, so that way she can make something special for me. With my new trinket equipped, and now having Silk Spear, I set the beast free. This is the Bell Beast fight. A fight that I didn't struggle too much with. The moveset's pretty basic, and this is definitely just going to be my first attempt here. As you can see, Bell Beast does double damage, and I'm still trying to figure out her moves, which is why I die. Running it back for round 2, I now see something new, which is a cocoon, since this is my first death of the game. However, I am able to defend myself more properly and see the openings in her attack frames. This battle is rather slow and methodical, as I just tried to figure out what the windows were to attack, seeing if she had any new moves, but it appears like she didn't. Except for that. Eventually I do enough damage to get her into her second phase, which is what this whole song and dance is all about. This introduces a new attack, which is namely the bells falling from the roof, and you just kind of have to dodge them. They also do 2 damage, I believe. Cleaning up the rest of the fight, I had a couple close calls, like right there. But other than that, the fight actually went pretty smoothly, and I don't think I took any more damage for the remainder of it. And just enjoy the rest of my fight. Once she was defeated, a new orb kind of forms in the middle of the room, which transports me to a very, very interesting area. This area, once I was transported to it, was very esoteric and had just a really weird, ominous feel to it. Climbing throughout the level, we just got a bunch of dialogue and contextualization as to what the story's about, which was a pretty sick addition on Team Cherry's part. After that little cutscene and that ominous scream, we got our first silk heart. This will enable us to regenerate silk while we are essentially idling. So when we're just chilling, we generate 1 rung of silk on our silk meter. But for now, that'll be it on the highlights. Just doing this for the love of the game. I will see you in the next part. Peace.